basement. Level vibes with another one. Straight up, blackness aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barretons too, cause I done fed up. You done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Good night. It's 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. My name is Mark Benshop, and welcome to Straight Up. Guess what? Some of them going to go into hiding. Some of them going to go into low gear because the energy burn out. But we here on 107.1 FM, our energy is still like Energizer Bunny. It keeps going and going and going and going and going. It never stops. And so elections are over. And for us, it's campaign time all over again. And we on 107.1 FM, we are in campaign mood again. I don't know about you guys. We are always in campaign mood because local government elections are around the corner. And so once you're into politics, and especially those who are being paid, it doesn't make sense that I remind you guys that we don't get paid. But we campaign, and we are already in elections mode for local government elections. And that is what we do right here on 107.1 FM. Now, on the screen, before we get back to that, remember that 107.1 FM is here to stay. We are with you. The good times, the not so good times, and the really good times, we are here with you. We don't fold up. We don't beat out. Our bums don't raise. We don't get vexed. We take a little beating, but we hop back up. And that's what's going to happen with all of you. Don't come here crying. Don't come here with emotions. Don't come here with bumps raised. Just be optimistic. Be prepared for the next round. Be prepared for the next battle. Put on your boots. Don't wait until elections time, then you're going to hear boots on the ground and what's on the ground and so forth. Now is the time, guys. Put your boots on now. Forget about what they say. What is it? The corrupt PPP regime. They say 5 more years upon them. Well, it's 5 more years of misery, 5 more years of corruption, 5 more years of blockout. Now, I don't know if they're going to last the entire 5 more years. We just don't know that. The corruption is too rampant. It is blatant. And these vagabonds in the PPP regime, they have absolutely no shame. And here is where you've got to put your confidence in your members of parliament, the 12, sorry. I'm not mindful for the others, the 16, and you guys know my position on that. And nobody's going to change my position. Absolutely no one. And so for me, I recognize the 12 parliamentarians. I recognize them as the ones who will be fighting for you. And now that's my opinion. I do not recognize the government, the so-called government of the day, and especially with the evidence that the elections not being free and fair. And I do not recognize corrupt individuals who are fighting and claiming that they could fight for your rights. Individuals who have violated your human rights are telling you now that they want to fight for your human rights or justice, whether it's for Adriana Young, whether it's for Waddle, whether it's for Crummy Wing. And then you have to ask yourself this question: where the heck were they when people were being slaughtered and rights? Oh, we know where some of them were, right? We already know that. Some of them were part and parcel of the killing squad. Some of them were part and parcel of the killing crew, the phantom squad, the death squads, and so forth and so on. They were paying police money. They were cozying up with senior police officers. They were giving them gifts. They were given, whether monetary or otherwise. And suddenly you think they are going to sit in parliament to represent your interest or to talk about justice for you? You've got to be kidding me, right? Roxy, Daly, Austin, and others. It's Friday, right? I should have been somewhere, maybe Bamba Mali or maybe Woodbine. Woodbine. Good night to all of you. Guess what? These 12 persons, 12 of them will be in parliament, representing the real opposition. And I call them the real opposition. It's not a fly-by-night, like you rush somewhere in the quarantine on Philippi or Alice and some mosquitoes just come after you, zoom, and they're gone. Not me. Not me. Not me at all. I'm not going to rush over to no fly-by-night mosquitoes, a quick bite and gone. No, it's more than that. It's about longevity. And I know fighters when I see fighters, right? Nobody's gonna come like was it sheep in wolves clothing and pretend as though they are suddenly a fighter for you. You gotta be kidding me. If you guys don't open your eyes, then something is wrong. Now let's take a look at these 12 persons. And I like most of them. I'm not gonna lie, but whoever I don't like, it is. Or I have not much confidence in. It's okay. It's my right to say that. But there are 12 of them. There are 12. I think that the majority of these 12 folks are going to be fighting for you. Some of them I might think McLean but right. But let me. If I don't identify any one of them in this here, don't get your bumps raised or whatever. Let me see who I like in here. Y'all know Lima. What is it? Nima Flu. Yeah. Nima Flu, a fighter. She will stand up and she will fight, not only for the people of Mocha, Arcadia. She's going to go. You give her the resources, she's going to go around the country and she's going to fight for you. So I think this is a good pick. Nima Flu, Bess, Wonderful pick. I'm glad to see her back in Parliament. The first time in Parliament, she was basically trying to, get a grip, get a hold of herself, and so forth. And I think this time around, she is going to be stronger. And so I like this pick. I just like this pick. The other that I think is going to sit back and do some nice research, and he's a little bit slow, right? This is my friend Sharma. When I say slow, I don't mean intellectually slow. What will take Sharma 5 minutes to say, he could finish that in 30 seconds. Hi, good night, how are you? But Sharma has his own style, and Sharma will take like 2 minutes to say hello. But he's good. He's a fighter. He's a grassroots guy. He is. He can talk to the middle class. He could talk to the upper class. He could talk to the business class. He could talk to the guys around the market. He could talk to the guys in the streets. And that is what I like about Sharma Solomon. So it's really good to see Sharma Solomon in Parliament. Congratulations, Nima Flubes. Congratulations, Sharma Solomon. I think his middle name is Kusia. Mr. Mayor. So, once he's in Parliament, once he is in Parliament, it simply means that he's going to have to surrender that mayorship position in Linden. He's going to have to surrender it. It's going to have to go. It's going to have to go. It's going to have to go. He is going to. Now, let me say this to you. Let me say this. Why I like Sharma Solomon. Sharma, in my opinion, should have been way up in the party, the PNC, way up. In politics, you slip a little bit. But you know what happened with Sharma? He didn't sell his soul. He didn't walk away. He didn't get vexed. His bums didn't raise. But he's still there with you guys. He's still there with the people of Linden. He is still there with the people of Region 10. He's still there with the people of Guyana. And he's still there with PNC people, his party. He didn't sell out and bond himself and run away with an umbrella, or like a Figueroa and these guys. Those guys are softy. They're softy. They're not true to their game. They're not true to the party. Sharma Solomon is. So who is going to become the next mayor of Georgetown? Of Linden, sorry. Who will become the next mayor of Linden? I hope it's a strong person, whether it's a female or whether it's a male. I think I have an idea already who it is. And if it is accurate, then I don't think that person is going to be strong for the people of Linden. I think I have an idea. You guys know I don't just, if I have a conversation with somebody and it's in confidence, well, it remains that way until they are ready to make that announcement. And I have a strong idea who that person is. And let me just say to you guys, it's not a female. But I don't like the choice, and you guys will understand why whenever that choice is revealed. So let's move on now. Who else on this list that I like? I like this business guy, Saiku Andrews. Business the right way, not the corrupt way, not by smuggling, not by fuel and tax evasion and so. No, the good way, the hard way, the honest way. And Saiku brings a lot to the table. Business-wise, he is approachable. He's a people's person too. Just like Sharma Solomon. You can disagree with Saiku Andrews, and it's okay. And these are the type of people that we need in politics. And so I think Saiku Andrews bring a lot of positive vibes. He is an asset, and he will do all of you, every one of you. He's going to make you guys proud. Now let's leave Reyes, I think, out of this equation, because honestly, I don't know this young man. I don't know who he is, and therefore I have seen him around, but I just can't. I just can't pronounce him. Other than he seems to have the energy, though. He seemed to be brave, and all I can say is I wish him all the best. So I have nothing further to say about this young man, Reyes. But what I saw him active whenever they have meetings in the US or in Guyana and so forth. He is always there. And so is somebody to look at in a very positive way based on his bravery and his dedication. And so I wish him all the best as well. Now, let me see who else. Businessman Terence Campbell, PhD. Dr. Terence Campbell. He will be leading this team. Terence Campbell, Dr. Campbell brings a lot of business experience. He is approachable. He is likable. And I think if you say to Terence Campbell that, hey, wait a minute, I don't agree with you. And my years of experience with him, his bums doesn't raise, he doesn't get upset, well, maybe off the phone, but I've never experienced that with him. And he is someone to, unlike some others who call themselves philanthropists and they give out stuff and they take photographs, and so that's not Terence Campbell. He gives out a lot. And from the heart as well. Probably a lot more than those who now pretending that they are philanthropists. That is Terence Campbell. The same can be said about Saiku Andrews as well. They give a lot. Whether scholarships, you name it, they are there. They don't take photos, build a little house and say, hey, photo here, and force people to paint it in blue. All right. Good night again to all of you. The other one we got to look out for and support is Viceroy Jordan. He is heading back to Parliament. I think it's a good choice. And not only just a good choice, he won his seat in Region 5. When these guys can win their seats in Region 5 or whichever region, it means that the people like what they have done. And so the people went back in their numbers and voted to ensure that Viceroy Jordan in Region 5 retains that seat. He has a very, very far way to go in politics. And he will continue to remain humble. And that's what we want to see. Let me see. And all the best to Viceroy Jordan again. Let me see who else. I thought Ronald Daniels, I think he would have made a great pick to be part of this 12, but he's not there. There's always next time around. I think Ronald Daniels is a very, very dedicated to the PNC. I think if you ask me, Ronald Daniels is very grassroots. He's a lawyer. He came through the ranks. He was a minibus operator. He was a minibus tout, and these sort of things. And I think Ronald should have been there. That's just my take, but he's not there. All of them can be there, right? 3 women are there. We see them. I like Nima Flubes. I like her. She's there. The prime ministerial candidate is back there. We wish her all the best as well. We hope that they become stronger and their voices will be even stronger this time around. And that's all I wish to say. Who else? You have, Ganesh Mahipal. Ganesh is back there. Ganesh has a loud voice, very loud. This time around, I want Ganesh not just having a loud voice, he must have a heavy presence on the ground. Ganesh needs to get out of his AC now and hit the streets, hit Region 3, hit Region 4. They have to hit the streets running almost immediately. They have to do it. This is not about sweet boy politics, Ganesh. I know you've made it. You're up there, but you've got to come back downstairs. Go back downstairs, Ganesh, and do some hard work on the ground. On the ground. Do that. Let me see who else. Well, Dr. David Hines, he is in Parliament. He brings a lot of years of experience in terms of human rights side of things, the political side of things. And let us hope that in terms of understanding 2025 politics and not 1985 politics, it can blend with the experience of 85, 95, 2005, and so forth, but still understanding that this is 2025. They are targeting a new generation, different mindset of individuals. And this is where I think that this is a good blend. I'm not going to argue that only 3 women, only 3, because we can just argue only this or only that, or why this or why that. And it's just going to drain us, so to speak. Should there have been another female, stronger? Who knows? But we have what we have right now. And we have to work with what we have. Because if we pull back and we keep saying, why this or why that, it should have been this, it should have been that, then guess what? 5 years is going to be up and you're still arguing. Why this and why that? Why this and why that? Work with what you have now, right? Sherrod is back there. I think Sherrod is a good choice as well. He brings the energy in Parliament, and we need that energy as well. And so it's a mixture of a piece of everything. I repeat, a piece of everything. In terms of youngster, I know most of them are young people. I think the youngest here is Vince Roy Jordan, who's just about maybe 36 or 37. My choice in terms of young parliamentarian, I would go with Bearball or Corbyn. They should have been added, but it's only 12. And so we can go on with who shoulda, woulda, and then we'll go. It's only 12. So you got to work with what we have. Sorry about that, guys. We have to work with what we have there. I say with what we have because I feel that I belong to these individuals. This is the 12. These are the 12. This group here, they are the real opposition. Yep. Just take a sip of water. Sorry about that, guys. So this is the real opposition to me. So they have to go out there and fight. Those who didn't make it into Parliament, for APNU, yeah, don't suck up your teeth. Don't let your bums raise. Don't let this happen. Just understand, we all can make it, right? We all can make it. You all can be ministers when the time comes. You all can be permanent secretary when the time comes. You all can be MPs. And this is not about just going in there to be MPs just to get a pension. And I don't think these guys are going in there to get a pension. I don't think Andrews want a pension from Parliament. I don't think Psycho Andrews is looking forward for 200 and something thousand a month, when I'm sure his business probably makes more than that per day. So it's not a matter of pension for Psycho. It's not a matter of pension for Dr. Sorry, it's not a matter of pension for Dr. Terence Campbell. It's not a matter of pension for maybe most of them, if you ask me. And so those of you who thought that you would have been in Parliament and you're not selected as part of this 12, do not allow your bumps to raise. Just hit the ground, guys. And you got to hit the ground now. You've got to have a stronger PR team. Sorry about that. I forget Dexter Todd, Dr. Dexter Todd. Dr. Todd is a good talker, and he will be a good talker in Parliament. But what we need in Parliament is not just good talkers. We need talkers in Parliament, but when you walk out of Parliament, put on your boots and hit the ground running. Prepare for local government elections now. Start now. Build your constituencies now. Let them see you on the ground now. Have a heavy presence on social media now. Don't just don't try to become talk show hosts and interviewers and so forth. Don't try to become that. Go into your regions, go into your constituencies and talk to the people. Make sure that their plights are addressed, their problems are addressed. Force the corrupt government to do what is right for the people. This is not going to be about sound bites. And let me say this though, if any of you lock up in your AC office and people are complaining that you're not hitting the ground, well, then we will start our constructive criticism against you. So start hitting the ground now, right now. Congratulations to all of them, all 12 of them, every single 12 of them. I noticed there is a Carlton Popo Anthony says, dirty dozen. I don't know what you mean by dirty dozen, but if you are in fact calling these 12 persons dirty dozen, I hope I'm reading it differently, but I hope you're not addressing these folks as dirty dozen. Otherwise, this will be farewell for you on 107.1 FM, because we are not going to tolerate, take that sort of disrespect somewhere else. Take that somewhere else, not here. We notice Umesh Jailal said PPPC. Umesh, of course you're going to come here with that. Corrupt PPPC. Well, we can tell that you may be corrupt, Umesh, so that is why you hollering PPPC. You know why? Because when you look, you have no photograph. You could be Kwame, or you could even be Jack Dale. Because you know Jack Dale bombs raising. They are at Freedom House right now fighting to beat a deadline by midnight to see who are going to be ministers. Because right now they're fighting in Parliament right in Freedom House right now. They're fighting because they want to know how come those like James Bond and them, get position. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, guys, look at what's happening here tonight, huh? Surprise you guys. I didn't even realize that you weren't seeing me. That's why nobody made any comment about anything about me tonight, right? Good night to all of you. My name is Mark Benchap. Welcome to Straight Up. It's 36 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's Friday. And we would say, thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And let's go back to that guy that called these people the dirty 12. What? And Carlton Pope was saying not disrespect. So if it's not disrespect, who you're addressing as the dirty 12? These folks, most of them you already know. And so why would you want to call these people the dirty 12? These people have more value, in my opinion, most of them. They have more value than those who are the sanctioned man crew. These people have more value. That is just my opinion. And so you come here and you're calling them the dirty 12. So I'm aware about the movie and this, and sometimes you got to think, Carlton Popo. I don't know what's going on, Carlton. Carlton, you okay? Carlton, you okay? Come downstairs, Carlton. Come downstairs. Come downstairs. Some of y'all bums gonna raise yes, because I believe Guyana needs good leaders. Now, Guyana has a corrupt government, and then you have someone who is said to be corrupt and sanctioned and all these sort of things is going to be an opposition leader for Guyana. What are we really fighting for? So that's why I have to put my confidence, my trust in these 12. I have to do that. And you guys out there have to go hit the ground right now and work to make things better, especially come local government elections time. It's just my take, mind you. Just my take. So they need a strong PR team. They need that. I repeat, they need a strong PR team. The PR team has been weak for the longest time. But when you tell them the bumps raise, that this, that, they need a strong PR team. They need to do things differently this time around. They need to do things differently this time around. And you can be more effective if you have a strong PR team. Now, this is not to knock those who have attempted or tried to do little PR work, but this is political PR. And they got to know how to do it to have an international flavor. So the PR team that they're going to have this time around has to have an international flavor to it. That is all. That is all I'm going to say. Again, congratulations. If you haven't recognized them, they are the 12 who are going to go out there and their job is to bat for you. They are going to go, they're opening the batting, and they have to be strong. They just have to be strong. They just have to be strong. They just have to be strong. That is all that we're going to say here tonight. Congratulations to them. And now let's get back to good night again, and welcome to Straight Up. In case you guys haven't recognized, it's me, Mark Benshaw, on this Friday night. What is it? The 13th. Oh, it's the 12th day of September. Time flies, right? Time flies. That's all I can say. Time flies. Time flies. Hey, guess what's happening? In Guyana, you've heard the news that Lola Dal, back to Lola Dal. Free speech is not free in Guyana. In fact, it is dead. And then the PPP regime doesn't like free speech. They're killing free speech. They're killing individuals because of their views. They're killing individuals. They're shooting individuals, maybe because of their political choices. And Guyana cannot be this nonsensical, this dotish talk about 5 more years, but 5 more years of what? The corruption by the PPP regime? Is that what this is all about? You know, if I have my way in Guyana, the gangs will have to pay a heavy price. Whether it's the Phantom Squad, whether it's death squads connected to the PPP, the drug lords and so forth, who are going around harming people, will have to pay a heavy price. And none of them, the political parties, talk about going after the gangs, the deadly gangs in Guyana. Those deadly gangs would have to, one day, they'll have to face the consequences of the law, that is. They will have to face it. Because Guyana cannot move forward with these murderous gangs, most of them connected to some vicious drug lords who are disguised as businessmen, so-called businessmen, gold smugglers, fuel thieves, and so forth and so on. Guyana cannot prosper with those kind of people. They're allowed to prosper in Guyana. They're allowed to kill people in Guyana. They're allowed to go and shoot up people in Guyana. That is what is happening. And the corrupt PPP regime cannot address the issue as it pertains to gang and gang violence and drug lords and all these vicious people in Guyana. The PPP basically cannot address it. They cannot address it because they're in bed with those vicious gangs, those murderers in Guyana. Oh, yes, they are. And so 5 more years, when they say 5 more years upon them, it's 5 more years of misery. 5 more years for these Pakus drinking soup and drinking whatever else they can drink to make a living. That is what is happening in Guyana. And Guyana, in order for Guyana to move forward, you have to have good people, honest people, qualified people, people who are sincere about the cause, not people who going in there with big question marks hanging over their heads, people who are wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies and maybe other. They can't change Guyana. They just cannot change Guyana. And these soup drinkers cannot change Guyana too, because they're hypocrites. Nothing is of value. Nothing they say is of value, and you cannot trust them. You cannot trust these soup drinkers. Look at this guy with the red Congo, the old fade out red Congo that he probably got from Carl Boyce. You know, back in the days, Carl Boyce days and so forth, right? Carl Boyce, by the way, talk about Carl Boyce, he died the other day. So condolences to his family, his daughter Samantha, and others. And so look at this. Carl Boyce probably left this this Congo for this guy. Carl Boyce left this Congo for this chap here. God in heaven knows what kind of meat, whether it's alligator guana meat or whatever, he put in him out there. Always ready for a piece of meat in him out. Anyways, Carl Boyce should take back his Congo, man. Sincere condolences to Carl Boyce. All right, so good night again, and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Bensha. Back to the crime and the Pakus them in Guyana. 45 minutes after 9 o'clock, right here on 107.1 FM. Now let's talk about the crimes. Lola Dahl, her name is Lolita Calendar. She comes from a family of fighters. I've known this young lady. I've known her since she was a little girl. And the trials and tribulations that she have gone through over the years, I don't necessarily, in it's freedom of speech, Lola will be Lola. Lola can tell you come downstairs, and it's Lola. Young people like her. Young people and older folks have to get with the program with young people, especially politicians. They got to get with the program of young people. These are different times we're living in, different generation. We're living in a come downstairs generation. I mean, I'm not saying that all young people are different than when I was growing up in the late 70s, early 80s, different times, if you know what I mean. And Lola Dahl has gone through a heck of a lot since a little girl. She witnessed, the attempted assassination on her dad's life, car with some other occupants riddled with bullets. 1 or 2 occupants died. Her father survived. All manner of things. Her mother, wonderful, beautiful lady. Over the years, haven't experienced the best of life. We have seen Lola Dahl picked her up and is proud of her mom and want to make sure that all is well, And when you see people like these, fighters like these, you've got to wish them the best and speedy recovery and so forth. And for her, 8 bullets. 8 bullets. 8 bullets. 8 bullets. Now, there's a Ravi Parshram is saying, Mark, don't let her be politics. Well, it is politics, Ravi. And I'll explain why it's politics. While I address Navin Singh that said, Mark, stop be so bitter, bro. Tomorrow is not promised. Navin Singh, speaking the truth is interpreted by you as being bitter? Since when speaking the truth is being bitter? Now, I've been smiling with you guys. I've been talking the truth. You tell me, where have I been bitter? You tell me. Where have I been bitter? Ravi Parshram, please remember, you're not here to disrupt. You're not here to basically distract. It's not going to happen. So this is a warning that it's not going to happen. The distraction is not going to happen. We are not going to tolerate that here at all. At all. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything again. Operator, lemon, watermelon, and Bora. We have a new operator named Bora. Do y'all think, please? There will be no distractions. None whatsoever. Absolutely none. And we noticed Francine Cruz back again complaining about Paul Slow and some guy named Selwyn Peters and all these things. And but Francine Cruz complaining, but she was banned. Francine, this is not the time for that, Francine. If you get banned, you get banned. Talk to Paul Slow about that. And if you get beef with Selwyn Peters and Selwyn and you have big cuss out, not here. Not here. All right? Our operators, you'll have to throw Selwyn in the trench in a short while because he's not here to offer anything constructive. It's just to distract. And we are not going to allow that sort of distraction at all. We know Kwame is blogging with different names. We know Jack Dale is blogging with different names, and we are aware of their agenda. It is not going to happen here on 107.1 FM at all. And so let's talk about why this is political. It is political because of the PPP's connection to this guy. It is political because this guy is not that he's a church guy or he's not known to the police. If he's known to U.S. law enforcement agencies, almost all the U.S. law enforcement agencies are well aware of who Paul Dabby Jr. is. They are well aware of who Mark Cromwell, also known as Demon, is. They're well aware of what Hemnat Saw has been doing. They're well aware. They know these individuals. They're aware of these individuals. That is why they have been sanctioned by the U.S. as drug traffickers. So if they are no stranger to U.S. law enforcement agencies, maybe Canadian law enforcement agencies and law enforcement agencies in the UK. So who do you think is protecting them in Guyana? Who? It's got to be the PPP. And so every time they go out and they commit a crime, allegedly or whatever, they commit a crime, they're doing so with the blessings of the PPP. Because the PPP does nothing to hold them accountable. Nothing at all. And we have seen, we got the evidence of why the PPP, you guys remember these guys were murdered. The PPP never cared. The PPP never give a rat's ass. And it seems to be just one set of gang members who are doing the killings. And because of their connections to the PPP regime, there is no justice at all. None whatsoever. A guy was kidnapped, said to have been taken into the backlands of Buxton, and nothing. even though people know they saw on video the kidnappers. Nothing has happened. Absolutely nothing has happened. 2024, September 28th, 5 men wanted for abduction. The Guyana police force has issued a wanted bulletins. These were the 5 men. And of course, when the police force, when they issue wanted bulletins, must know it's just basically a front. When they put certain people, they basically cook it up. They say, don't worry, we will issue a wanted bulletin for you and everything will die down and that's it. It's done. And so imagine the abduction of a young man in front of New Thriving restaurant in 2024. The abduction was caught on video. Everyone saw. But yet, no one is charged. Yet, the man is still missing, presumed dead. And nobody cares. You think Air Finale cares? You think the Commissioner of Police cares? You think senior police men are concerned about justice? Do you think they are concerned about justice? They absolutely aren't. And so those who rush up and try to say that the killings, certain killings and crimes in Guyana aren't politically associated, well, something is wrong with them. Look at these 5. Where is the young man who was abducted and said to have been taken straight into Buxton and was killed by a demonic crew? Killed, but no justice. But take a look at the first one in the picture, Wayne Barker. Now that's the guy, according to Lola Dahl, she said she saw that guy shot her. That is what she's saying. She is saying she saw him. He was the one who shot her. He was the one who attempted to kill her. Now he turned himself into the police. His 72 hours is going to be up. He's going to be released on either $500,000 or $1 million bail. That's just a front. That's for the corruption in the Guyana police force. They make it look as though they're doing something, and then that's it. They end up doing nothing to solve crimes in Guyana. Because the reason why they do nothing to solve crime in Guyana, it is because certain senior members of the Guyana police force are part of serious crimes in Guyana. They commit murders, they're part of drug dealings, all these things. Senior policemen, how you think they're able to get 3, 4, 5 big houses? How you think they're able to drive fancy cars in Guyana? You think it's just because of their salaries? No, it is because they're part and parcel of crime in Guyana. Why do you think that a policeman was sanctioned by the US for drug trafficking? Why do you think scores of senior policemen, and not so senior ones, have had their US visas revoked silently? You think they got it revoked because they were attending some church or Hindu temple or a masjid? No, their visas were revoked because they're part and parcel of crime in Guyana. And that is what is happening. And so while people say, Guyana's got to get better, and it's going to only get better when drug lords are dealt with through the courts, mind you, and death squad members and those corrupt businessmen are dealt with through the courts, and those contract killers are brought to justice, because Guyana has too many contract killers. And almost every corrupt businessman in Guyana, they have a crew they have a group of individuals who go out and kill for them. Some of them now trying to wash themselves up and get into politics and claim that they can fight for justice for people. But that is what's happening in Guyana right now. And so let's take a look at these guys now. Wanted for abduction of this guy, the guy all the way on top. I wish we can get a better photograph of him. Wanted for the abduction of that. And look at all, these are recent killings connected to, pointing in the direction of one criminal gang controlled by a drug lord that is connected, and all of them are connected to the PPP. Every single one of them are connected to the PPP. Now, some may ask, how Mark knows that? Well, I don't know. But this is Barra Jack Deal sitting with two of these guys, two of them were wanted for the abduction of a young man. Still cannot be found. His family, they're still crying out for justice. They're still crying out for justice. But yet Jack Deere recently sat with two of them, maybe three. And so this, when people talk about why make it political? And this is why you have to make it political. Because when you have these gang members connected to drug lords and gold smugglers and all these things, then you have to make it political. When some of these members from drug lord gangs are accused of shooting Lola Dahl, you've got to make it political. Because once these guys are connected, whether their drug lord boss is connected to the PPP, whether they're connected to high and powerful people in the PPP, which is why most of them get their connection. They are defended, they are protected. And so no matter what crimes some of these gangsters commit out there, they're not going to be brought to justice. And don't expect them to be brought to justice. We have seen a whole host of murders in Guyana. Whether ex-policeman dragged out of his car and taken into Buxton, shot and killed cannot be found today. A man abducted in broad daylight. You see who the abductors are. Said to have taken into Buxton, killed, and nothing has happened. Absolutely nothing has happened. And some of the gang members you see are close to the PPP regime. They get contracts from the PPP regime, even though they're sanctioned by U.S. law enforcement agencies for drug trafficking. And these are the PPP guys, the PPP people, want to come out and tell you 5 more years upon them. And then they want you to respect them and to think that they believe in decency, that they believe in democracy, and that they want the best for Guyana. You got to wheel and come again, because they do not want the best for Guyana. They have corrupt Guyana enough. You guys had an opportunity in the 2025 September 1st elections. Local, general, and regional elections to make that change, to vote for good people, good leadership that can bring about that change. But no. Y'all didn't want that. Y'all become emotional. Some of y'all, not all of y'all. That explains the reason why Guyana is in the current predicament. Because instead of sitting down and making the right choices that will be able to uplift Guyana and move Guyana in a positive direction, we just keep going backward and backward and backward and backward and backward, all because of emotions. And when some of you walk into the voting booth to vote, you vote because of emotions, not because of someone or a team of individuals that can do good for Guyana, that could stand up for you. And you know, this thing, it doesn't work. And some might say, some have argued that they have a right, and of course you have a right, of course. And you continue to have that right, which is proven to be wrong. Your right to vote might turn out to be making the wrong decisions. That is why Guyana is the way it is. Because of that emotion. You know, when I hear people say, you ask them, why are you voting for X, Y, or Z? Man, I'm tired of the old kind of thing. Let me give this body a chance. Let me give this body a chance. And that's a mistake. Let me give a chance is a mistake. What sort of chance are you giving? Who are you giving a chance to? Who are you attempting to put the country in, hands in? Who? Sometimes that chance can turn out to be deadly for you, and you don't even know. Politically, economically, and maybe otherwise. And so you've got to be careful when you say, give a chance. Some of you are going to curse. It's okay. Not too bothered about that. I'm just not too bothered about that at all. You can curse from now till thy kingdom come. It's not going to change my thinking. But I believe Guyana deserves better. You guys deserve better. Those of you who are living in Guyana. And the next time around, you've got to move away from, let me give this body a chance. And man, look, Modi sanction, this body gets sanctioned, and trying to justify silliness. It doesn't work. And we're going to constantly make the same mistake over and over and over again. And the entire country become the loser. The entire country is in jeopardy. The entire country has shifted 10 to 15 to 20 years backwards. Nothing is moving forward. Nothing positive. The electricity, same thing. Blackouts increase. Drugs shipping out of the country as it never been before. The large amount of drugs being sent out of Guyana since September 1st will shock you guys. Probably will shock you guys when the perpetrators, the little ones, are caught, but not the big ones who are connected to the PPP or the big ones who are connected to senior law enforcement officials in Guyana, whether it's KANU or whether it's the Guyana Defense Police Force. You will be shocked. The numbers will tell you. And so all of these things and the vindictive move by the PPP regime to fire people because of their political affiliation. You guys heard the news that a simple guy that is connected to Simona Broom's party was transferred because of his connection to Simona Broom's. And that's the pettiness that's happening in Guyana. You get a waste of time. Individuals who are not contractors are given billions of dollars of contracts, hundreds of millions of dollars. That is how they're hustling you, the people of Guyana. And if you're not prepared to change, all you want is an exchange, but you're not prepared for change. And you check the grasshoppers, them 1 minute they here, they support here, they support that, they support here, they support that, they support that, they support that. It's like you get eye turn. The hypocrisy and hardly consistency, or even have the energy to go on and be consistent. It's just fly-by-night mosquito, if you know what I mean. And so they disappear after. That's why when I started this program, I say, we here at 107.1 FM, we are here to stay with you. Whether we get cuss up doesn't hurt us. Whether they try to sling us in the mud, it doesn't matter. We're strong. We're soldiers in this struggle. from the beginning to the end. And I say this as we prepare to wrap up tonight's program, that the campaign has started all over again. This time around, it's got to be better. And how is it going to be better? You have to have real fighters, real folks, people who are committed, real leaders, not just Christmas blows, real leaders. That is why, for the most part, I see these folks that I know, I have the confidence that they are going to walk into Parliament and they're going to fight for you. These 12, they are the real opposition. I hope none of them going to be a disappointment. I hope not. But even if one or two become a disappointment, there are two other replacements who might be stronger. So let us hope there will be no disappointment. We want to wish them, all 12 of them, the best. All 12 of them, the best. God bless you all. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, not straight up, but Wayne Caesar is going to be on tomorrow. Over to you, his style, his thing. And I don't know what he has planned, but I know he has a program tomorrow for all of you. Rhonda Lane, let me take this time out to say thank you for what you did. You tried to open their eyes in the opposition to focus on GCOM, but they were a bit complacent. They have to start right now. We need change in Guyana. We need changes in our elections. We need free and fair elections. But that can only be done if we have a proper electoral system, a proper entity. GCOM is too corrupt to be taken seriously. The change starts right there, but it starts with you, the people. I'm out of here. See you guys. God bless you. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. Maybe I'll just pop into the comment section on Wayne Caesar's program tomorrow. Have a good night, guys, and continue to keep hope alive. So long.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of